Welcome back to the BookCast. Today we are unpacking every layer of the incredible novel Dracula. Get ready for a deep dive into its characters, themes, and the hidden meanings behind the story.
That's right. This isn't just a plot summary, friends. We're going to peel back the layers of this gothic masterpiece, nugget by fascinating nugget, to discover why it still casts such a long, chilling shadow over our imaginations, even today.
Definitely. So let's open the curtain on our journey into the uncanny with Jonathan Harker. He's our young, meticulous English solicitor.
Right, the way in.
Yeah, and when we first meet him, it's May 3rd. He's diligently recording his journey in shorthand, and he seems utterly oblivious, really, to the nightmare he's about to step into.
Completely unaware. He thinks he's off to Transylvania for, well, what sounds like the most mundane of tasks.
Yeah.
A routine real estate transaction.
Exactly. Starts in Munich, then through Vienna and on to Budapest. And you get this sense of initial optimism, almost a naive excitement bubbling beneath the surface.
Yeah, he's just become a full-blown solicitor, as he puts it. And he's taking these notes thinking they'll, refresh my memory when I talk over my travels with Mina.
It's all very businesslike, very orderly, very well English.
Yeah.
But how quickly does that start to unravel?
Almost immediately. And that's precisely the contrast Stoker establishes so brilliantly.
Yeah.
It's one of the novel's core strengths, that clash. Jonathan's precise, rational, Victorian mindset, representing the civilized West, is about to collide head-on with this ancient, untamed world.
Right, Transylvania.
Exactly. He observes it's home to these distinct nationalities: Saxons, Wallachs, who are descendants of the Dacians Magyars, and critically, the Seekleys.
The Seekleys, who claim descent from Attila and the Huns, right? That's where Dracula's from.
That's the lineage. So it's not just geography, it's deep cultural, historical context. It signals a world totally apart from orderly England, hinting at old bloodlines, older beliefs.
And the journey itself feels like a descent.
It really does. A slow, almost suffocating descent into the unfamiliar. He's palpably leaving civilization behind. He even notes how the further east you go, the more unpunctual are the trains.
Such a great detail.
Isn't it? A subtle sign he's leaving the predictable West, entering a realm where maybe logic bends, time isn't so rigid.
And the landscape changes, too, becoming wilder.
Oh, definitely. He describes jagged rock and pointed crags, mighty rifts in the mountains, the white gleam of falling water. Even the people at the stations, though picturesque, feel different.
Yeah, there's an ancient mystery about them.
It's like the very land is humming with folklore, with superstitions. Our modern, rational Jonathan just isn't equipped for. Stoker uses every detail to build this sense of isolation foreboding.
And the warnings, they start almost straight away, don't they? Subtle at first, but then they really ramp up.
They absolutely do.
Like before he even leaves the inn in Bistritz, this old lady confronts him, desperately pleading, "Don't go."
Right, and she's mixing German with some other language, which just highlights how foreign everything is. Goes down on her knees, begging him.
Forces a crucifix on him, which, Jonathan admits felt all very ridiculous, but I did not feel comfortable.
But he's got business to be done. Duty calls.
Yeah, he presses on. It's incredible how Stoker builds that thick dread before anything really explicitly supernatural even happens, just using the locals' fear.
It's masterfully done. And that tapestry of warnings, it's so significant. These aren't just quaint superstitions. They're vital clues Jonathan largely dismisses or rationalizes away.
Like the crucifix, the garlic.
The wild rose, the mountain ash, all linked in the text to protective measures against the evil eye. Ancient wards against forces he can't comprehend yet.
These are the first real hints, aren't they? The first challenge to his rational world.
Exactly. And as he rides deeper into the Borgo Pass, the driver throws a cloak over him, gives him plum brandy, but the horses get spooked by the howling dogs.
Right. And the driver calms them soothingly, like he has this unusual control.
Almost supernatural, as if he's part of this older, knowing world. And then he murmurs that chilling phrase,
"Denn die Toten reiten schnell."
For the dead, travel fast. It just nails that burgeoning terror. Jonathan calls it a sort of awful nightmare, especially with that mysterious blue flame by the road.
And the locals at the inn all crossing themselves as he left. The whole world seems to know the danger except him.
That dramatic irony is so powerful. You, the reader, are practically shouting at him, but he can't hear it yet.
So despite all these increasingly chilling warnings, he pushes on, duty-bound, and then he finally reaches Castle Dracula.
And the atmosphere just drops, doesn't it? It's strange chill, the lonely feeling.
You hear the rattling chains, the clanking of massive bolts. Then the great door creaks open, and there's the Count.
With that deceptively courtly welcome. Welcome to my house. Enter freely, go safely, and leave something of the happiness you bring.
But Jonathan, with his keen eye, notices things almost immediately. The handshake.
Prodigious strength. He even wonders for a second if it's the same person as the driver.
Yeah. And then the description, that's where the dissonance really hits, between the gracious host and something else.
That's Stoker's genius, crafting this unsettling presence. Through Jonathan's meticulous eyes, we get this disturbing portrait. An old man, yes, but terrifying strength.
A grip of steel.
Exactly. Deathly pallor. But his lips have this remarkable ruddiness and astonishing vitality that feels totally unnatural, grotesque almost.
And the eyebrows.
Massive, almost meaty. Bushy hair framing a mouth that's fixed and rather cruel-looking, with those peculiarly sharp white teeth that protruded over the lips.
And the pointed ears. Can't forget those.
Pale and at the tops extremely pointed. It's this mix of aristocratic charm and monstrous, almost animalistic features, alluring and repulsive at once.
But there's that one detail Jonathan clocks early on, almost a throwaway.
The mirrors.
Exactly. In none of the rooms is there a mirror. Not even a small shaving one. He has to use his own.
Such a brilliant, subtle clue. A direct hint at the Count's non-human, vampiric nature. A breadcrumb planted long before the big reveals, just sowing that deep unease.
And the Count's agenda starts unfolding pretty fast. His hospitality is clearly targeted.
Oh, absolutely. He's intensely curious about London, devouring books about it.
He tells Jonathan, I long to go through the crowded streets, to be in the midst of the whirl and rush of humanity. Its life, its change, its death. Chilling.
And he peppers Jonathan with these incredibly detailed questions about English law. Can man have multiple solicitors? Can he buy property far from the city?
And Jonathan initially is just being a diligent clerk answering everything. But it starts feeling ominous.
Because it's not curiosity, it's strategy. This is Dracula's long game, laid bare right there.
Wanting a solicitor from Exeter, far from London.
It's calculated, he says it himself, that no local interest might be served save my wish only. Pure cunning, isolating himself from networks that might notice him.
Like a predator isolating prey.
Precisely. And then he gives that monologue about the Dracula bloodline, the Sicales fighting the Turks. It's like a boast, setting the stage for his own ambition.
He sees himself as a conqueror. London's the next frontier.
Meanwhile, Jonathan starts feeling the trap, finds all the doors locked, feels like a rat in a trap.
That claustrophobia must be intense.
And adding to it, he realizes he hasn't seen the Count eat or drink. These little details accumulate, making him grasp the reality of his imprisonment and the host's hunger.
Okay, can we talk about the three women, the brides? That scene is wow.
Yeah, it's incredibly unsettling. Beautiful, voluptuous, as Jonathan describes them.
With their brilliant white teeth like pearls against their ruby lips, and he feels this intense conflict.
Wicked, burning desire versus deadly fear. It's so visceral.
Such a violation of his proper Victorian sensibilities. But what's really disturbing is the dynamic when the Count shows up.
Right. It taps right into those Victorian anxieties about, forbidden desires, dangerous female sexuality, the breakdown of order.
And the Count is furious.
Oh, yeah. Grabs one of them by the neck, white teeth champing with rage, eyes blazing. He just hurls her away.
And declares, this man belongs to me. Beware how you meddle with him. Pure possession.
And the women shoot back, you yourself never loved, you never love. Followed by that awful, mirthless, hard, soulless laughter.
Then the Count whispers to Jonathan, yes, I too can love. Chilling. It's not love, it's ownership. A total perversion of it.
Absolutely. A terrifying assertion of possessive dominance, showcasing his malevolent nature, his claim not just on Jonathan's life, but his very being.
And after that profoundly unsettling scene, the trap really slams shut.
The manipulation becomes undeniable. Jonathan's just a pawn.
He's forced to write those 3 letters, dated for the future, June 12th, 19th, 29th.
To mislead everyone back home, create this illusion of safety, Jonathan realizes it marks the span of my life. Crushing.
He feels totally helpless, knows rebelling is madness. He's complicit now.
It's pure psychological torture. Breaking his will, isolating him completely, severing those last ties.
And then the Swigini arrive. The gypsies.
With those great square boxes, handles of thick rope. Jonathan notes they seem empty at first, but...
Yeah, it becomes horribly clear what they're for. Transport.
These boxes confirm Dracula's travel plans, his impending invasion of England. The horror is becoming tangible.
And Jonathan tries that desperate move, throwing the letter out the window with a gold piece.
Hoping it gets posted. But the Count finds it. Shows his constant suffocating surveillance. Escape is futile.
But the truly horrifying moment for me is seeing the Count emerge from the window.
Wearing Jonathan's clothes?
Yes, and carrying his bag. It's this grotesque usurpation of identity.
It's chilling. Not just a disguise. It's claiming his very self. Confirms his life is forfeit. And it's underlined by that agonized cry of a woman whose child was taken by wolves.
Reminding us of Dracula's absolute brutality, his inhuman cruelty.
The casual nature of it. He commands this ancient evil. Even the wild obeys him.
And then the ultimate horror, the discovery that solidifies everything.
Finding the Count in one of the boxes.
In the old chapel, yeah. Raises the lid, and the sight fills his very soul with horror. Dracula's transformed.
No longer the aged nobleman, he looks like his youth had been half restored. Hair's dark iron gray now, not white.
Cheeks fuller, skin ruby red, mouth redder than ever, with gouts of fresh blood on his lips, eyes burning.
Ghastly. It's the definitive proof. He looks simply gorged with blood, like a filthy leech exhausted from his meal.
Shatters any lingering doubt Jonathan might have had. This is the monster revealed.
Absolutely. And faced with this, Jonathan frantically searches for the key, but it's gone. He's trapped, utterly at the creature's mercy.
And when the Count leaves him to the wolves,
The same wolves that took the child.
Jonathan just cries out, "Shut the door, I shall wait till morning." The sound of the bolts shooting home must have been terrifying.
It's a chilling, claustrophobic end to his time there. Leaves him scarred, mentally and physically, but sets the stage for Dracula's shadow spreading beyond Transylvania.
Right, so as Jonathan's nightmare is playing out, Stoker masterfully shifts our focus, pulls us across Europe to seemingly tranquil England, and we meet Lucy Westenra, who for a while represents everything Jonathan's world is losing. Joy, innocence, life.
She's Mina's dear friend, living this idyllic life, it seems. Charming, popular.
Definitely popular. Gets 3 marriage proposals at once. From Lord Arthur Holmwood, Dr. John Seward, and Quincy P. Morris, the American.
Quite the trio, representing aristocracy, science, and that rugged individualism.
She's thrilled to accept Arthur, says she's very, very happy, but feels genuinely bad for the others, especially Seward, nervously playing with his lancet.
It's a wonderfully human touch.
Yeah.
And this initial portrayal sets up that baseline of warmth, happiness, Victorian innocence.
Which is going to be brutally contrasted with the darkness coming.
Exactly. Her desirability isn't just plot. It establishes her as this vibrant life force. And crucially, it links these 3 men through their love for her.
Forging bonds that will become vital later.
It makes her eventual decline so much more tragic for us, the readers.
And Whitby itself, with the abbey ruins on the cliff, the coast. It's not just picturesque, is it? It feels loaded.
It's practically a character itself, steeped in history, foreboding. Stoker uses this seemingly idyllic English setting to ramp up the dread even before Dracula formally arrives.
Through characters like old Mr. Swales, the fisherman.
Right, he's outwardly cynical, dismisses local legends as all fool talk, but in doing so, he gives us all this dire foreshadowing.
Talking about tombstones running away.
Saying it'll be time for ye to be getting scarred when you see the tombstains all run away with. And that line about the wind tasting and smelling like death, unsettling.
He's like the town's reluctant oracle.
He really is. Embodies those ancient superstitions modern England is trying to forget. And in dismissing them, he kind of validates their power.
And that atmospheric tension just erupts with the arrival of the Demeter.
Oh, what a scene. This ghost ship crashing ashore in a storm, all sails set.
Carrying only a dead captain lashed to the helm, his hands tied with his own teeth. A truly chilling image.
It signals this grotesque, unnatural intrusion. And the ship's log paints this terrifying picture of the crew disappearing, one by one.
Until only the captain's left, desperately trying to guide the ship in.
And then there's the dead mastiff found nearby, throat torn away, belly slit open.
Unmistakably linked to the ship's arrival. The evil has landed.
And the cargo, those great wooden boxes filled with mold, it's a literal invasion, bringing Transylvanian soil to England, planting roots.
The air in Whitby just feels heavy after that. Nowhere feels safe.
Precisely. And then Lucy's health starts to decline, inexplicably at first.
Heart-wrenching to watch. The sleepwalking starts.
Despite Mina trying to lock the door, Mina finds her out in the churchyard looking worse each time.
Her roses fading, that ghastly pallor, the languor. Complaining her throat aches, she can't breathe properly.
It's like a slow, insidious grain of her life force. And Mina sees something dark behind the seat in the churchyard one night.
Though she doesn't grasp it then. But these are the signs of the Count's visits, his feeding.
Absolutely. Her symptoms, the fading color, breathing trouble, lethargic sleep, fragmented nightmares, are classic signs of a vampire's victim.
A slow, draining assault.
Exactly. Not sudden, but persistent. A terrifying intimacy between predator and prey, and you have Mrs. Westerna, Lucy's mother.
With her weak heart, adding another layer of vulnerability to the household.
It sets up a tragic chain of events later. This slow drain makes Lucy's decline heartbreaking, contrasting so sharply with her earlier vibrancy.
The dread builds because we see it through the eyes of those who don't yet understand what's happening.
Until Dr. Seward calls in his old mentor.
Professor Abraham Van Helsing, an expert in obscure diseases.
And he arrives and immediately prescribes these unusual remedies.
The garlic. Great bundles of white flowers. In the room, even a wreath around her neck. Seems totally bizarre.
To the others, yes, a departure from modern medicine, but Van Helsing is unwavering.
What does that tell us about him straight away?
That he's the true intellectual hero here, not bound by conventional thinking. His treatments seem superstitious, but they're rooted in deep, ancient knowledge of vampirism.
He recognizes the signs, even when science fails.
It highlights that core theme, the clash between Victorian science and ancient evil. Van Helsing bridges that gap, understanding the supernatural on its own terms, using lore and observation.
But then comes that critical error.
Tragic. Lucy's mother, meaning well, worried about the stuffiness.
Removes the garlic, undermining everything Van Helsing did.
Leaving Lucy completely vulnerable again. A poignant example of how human weakness, even from love, can play into these supernatural schemes.
And the blood transfusions start. Desperate measures.
From Arthur, Seward, Quincy, Van Helsing himself, shows the severity but also forges this grim bond between them, united in trying to save her.
And the Mrs. Westenra dies of shock.
When the wolf crashes through the window, likely Berserker from the zoo, implicitly under Dracula's influence. More chaos, another layer of protection gone.
It's just a cascade of misfortunes pushing Lucy towards the inevitable.
Sealing her doom. Despite all their efforts, she succumbs.
And initially, her beauty seems to return. A moment of false hope.
A cruel trick, because then the horrifying change begins. Her pale gums, drawn back, made the teeth look longer and sharper than ever.
A grotesque distortion. Death isn't the end for her, it's a transition.
To something far more sinister. And Van Helsing's conviction that she's undead is the turning point for the others, forces them to confront a reality-defying science.
He explains her body isn't decaying normally.
It's becoming more voluptuous, carnal, with a blood-stained, voluptuous mouth, a terrifying perversion of beauty, turning into this predatory femme fatale.
He has to show them the demonstration.
Leads them to the tomb, opens the coffin, reveals the ghastly reality of her transformation, shatters their skepticism. They have to accept the supernatural truth.
No room for doubt left.
None. And Van Helsing explains the only way to release her soul is the grim operation, violence and mercy combined.
Which leads to that iconic, disturbing scene, Arthur.
With a will of steel, born of love, drives the stake through her heart, followed by decapitation, filling the mouth with garlic.
As Van Helsing prescribed.
And the immediate transformation back to her peaceful self brings gladness and mirth and peace to the men. Her soul is released.
A brutal but necessary act, closing that tragic chapter.
Demonstrating the only way to combat this kind of ancient, unnatural evil.
So, as Lucy's tragic story concludes, another key figure really steps into the light. Mina Murray, now Harker.
Jonathan's fiancée, then wife, and she's central.
Her intelligence, her diligence, they prove absolutely crucial. She's practical, organized, skilled in shorthand and typewriting.
Skills she practiced to be useful to Jonathan, which turns out to be useful in ways neither could have imagined.
She goes to Budapest to nurse Jonathan back to health after his ordeal, shows her loyalty, her strength.
And it's there Jonathan gives her his diary, asking her to keep it secret unless some solemn duty requires it.
So how does Mina become this indispensable linchpin for the hunters?
Her role is pivotal. She's the unsung hero, really, the meticulous compiler, the detective.
Piecing it all together.
Exactly. Painstakingly gathering Jonathan's journal, Lucy's letters, Seward's phonograph diary, all these disparate fragments.
And organizing them into a coherent narrative.
Her disciplined approach, her knack for organization, it builds the entire intellectual foundation for understanding Dracula, his movements, powers, limitations.
Without her collation, they might never have grasped the full picture in time.
Absolutely. Her clear-headedness, her quiet strength stand in stark contrast to the horror, proving the typewriter can be mightier than the sword here.
She represents reason and organization triumphing over terror and chaos.
A brilliant counterpoint.
Then there's Renfield, Dr. Seward's patient, a truly disturbing character.
The zoophagus mania, eating flies, spiders, birds, trying to absorb life.
On the surface, just grotesque madness, but beneath it, he's like a psychic barometer for Dracula's presence.
Far more than just madness. His mental state is profoundly, terrifyingly connected to Dracula's proximity. He's an unwitting prophet, an index to the vampire's movement.
His outbursts and moments of calm match Dracula's movements.
Directly correlate. Calm, almost lucid when the Count is near. Raging when he's away. Sensing his absence. It shows Dracula's psychic influence.
And his lucid pleas for release. You don't know what you do by keeping me here. Save my soul from guilt.
Reveal this terrifying, fragmented understanding of who he's serving, the wrong he feels he's doing. He's Dracula's thrall, desperately wanting freedom, but unable to break free.
Until the end. His final encounter with Dracula.
Tragic and decisive. Beaten, left for dead after trying, in a moment of clarity and courage, to protect Mina.
That selfless act confirms his ultimate betrayal of the Count.
And provides a vital, horrifying clue to Dracula's presence right there at the asylum grounds. Shows the monster's ruthlessness, his disregard even for his own servants. Renfield's story is a chilling precursor to Mina's own forced connection.
And with Renfield's death, the secrets are out. Time for the Council of War!
Van Helsing gathers the core group. Jonathan, Seward, Arthur, Quincy, lays bare the full truth about vampires, about Dracula.
Must have been a profound shock, especially for someone like Seward, still clinging to scientific skepticism.
Accustomed to logical diseases, not ancient curses. This is where Van Helsing reveals Dracula's crucial limitations. How does that shift the power dynamic?
It turns the hunt into a strategic battle.
Absolutely. This council is the strategic heart of the novel. Van Helsing weaves together ancient traditions and superstitions, previously dismissed folklore, with their own horrifying observations and medical facts.
Right, explaining Dracula's specific weaknesses.
His need to rest in those boxes of earth, 50 of them. His inability to enter a new place without an invitation. His weakness during the day confined to his coffin.
And not being able to cross running water except at the turn of the tide.
A curious vulnerability, but crucial later. And Van Helsing's analysis of Dracula's child brain. That's fascinating.
What does he mean by that?
He argues that despite Dracula's power, cunning, and knowledge, his intellect is fundamentally small, driven by pure selfishness, primal instinct. Paradoxically, this makes him predictable.
Lacks complex strategic foresight because he lacks empathy.
Exactly. A brilliant subversion of the evil mastermind trope. Then they discover 49 of the 50 boxes are at Carfax, his London base.
So they sterilize them.
With communion wafer and putty. A brilliant strategic move. Cuts off his primary refuges, crippling his ability to move freely in England.
Turns the hunter into the hunted, right in his chosen territory. Massive blow.
Huge. But just when they feel they have the upper hand,
Dracula strikes back in the most brutal, personal way. Against Mina.
Forces her to drink his blood, brands her forehead with that red scar. A horrifying violation.
Establishes that terrifying psychic link. Mina feels unclean, tainted. It puts her in immediate, intimate danger.
Threatens her very soul. A cruel twist. But ironically, how does this curse become a tool for the hunters?
It's a curse, absolutely. Slowly turning her into a vampire. But Van Helsing discovers he can hypnotize her.
At sunrise and sunset.
Right. And her connection allows her to read the Count's sensations, track his movements, glimpse his thoughts. She becomes a living compass.
Transforms her from victim into an indispensable asset. An unwilling spy in the enemy's mind. Offering intelligence no one else could get.
And her courage. Asking them to promise to kill her if she fully succumbs.
An incredibly powerful, emotionally charged scene. Shows her immense strength, her resolve to stop the monster, no matter the personal cost. Even cursed, she guides them.
So with Dracula's nature revealed, his limits known, Mina as this psychic link, they forge the final plan.
Pursue him back to Transylvania. They know he's fleeing, but now they understand his vulnerabilities. Turn his escape route into their trap.
Dividing forces strategically. Godalming and Jonathan by steamboat upriver.
Aiming to intercept him while he's confined in his box during the day, immobile on the water, his most vulnerable state.
While Van Helsing, Seward, and Quincy go by land.
Right, overland support, a backup, ready to cut him off if he tries to move by land, covering all possibilities, maximizing their chances.
And they consider their weapons too, Quincy suggests.
Winchesters, modern rifles, highlighting that blend of traditional anti-vampire methods with modern tech, a Victorian fusion against ancient evil.
The urgency in that final planning session must have been intense.
Palpable, grim determination, understanding it's life and death for Mina, for England, for humanity. They're ready for the final fight.
And so begins the relentless chase back across Europe. The urgency is suffocating, racing against time, knowing Dracula is rushing back to his stronghold.
By Orient Express, then local transport, pushing themselves to the limit, driven by what's at stake. And Mina's contribution here is even more critical.
How so?
Even from afar, her hypnotic reports at sunrise and sunset give crucial intel. She senses darkness, lapping water, and creaking wood.
Confirming he's on a boat, confined, vulnerable.
Allows the hunters to stay ahead or at least keep pace. It's a testament to her strength of will, harnessing the curse itself.
The toll on everyone must be immense.
Physical, emotional exhaustion. Jonathan notes needing to eat to work our best, reminding us of their human limits.
And Mina has to wear the veil.
To hide the scar, facing the evil eye from superstitious locals. A constant physical reminder of the curse, her sacrifice. And the landscape changes again. The Carpathians tower in front.
Brooding, menacing, returning to the heart of darkness.
Exactly, where it all began.
As Van Helsing and Mina venture deeper into the wilder parts, the snow starts.
An ominous warning. Danger, closer to Dracula's territory. And then they have that terrifying re-encounter.
With the three brides from the castle, this feels like a test for Mina.
Absolutely, a perilous detour. To see if Dracula's influence has taken hold, the brides call to her, "Come, sister, come to us."
Seductive, alluring, like they were with Jonathan, but Mina reacts differently.
With visceral repulsion, horror, it confirms she's resisting, fiercely. Shows her strength and Helsing's faith in her.
And Van Helsing drives them back with the holy wafer.
Melts them into dust and gloom. A terrifying glimpse of their soulless nature. But the dead horses afterward.
Throats torn. A stark reminder of the real physical danger, Dracula's pervasive malevolence, even when he's not there. His evil permeates the land itself.
Then finally, all paths converge. In the wild, snowy terrain.
Jonathan and Godalming from the boat, meeting Seward and Quincy from the land pursuit, joining Van Helsing and Mina. The tension is unbearable.
The culmination of everything, and they spot them.
The spaghetti, transporting Dracula's final box by wagon, racing the setting sun. This is it, the final chance.
The absolute peak of tension. That race against sunset is critical. He's powerless in his box until nightfall.
They see the tree line, the castle against the red sky, an incredible backdrop for the climax.
A perfect stage. They know it's their last opportunity before he reaches safety. And the Spaghettis are racing too, trying to deliver their master.
It's not just a physical chase, is it? It's about collective will against this ancient evil.
Every moment feels charged with destiny as they close in.
And then, the moment arrives. Chaotic, furious, final charge.
Jonathan and Quincy leap from their horses, fueled by desperation, anger. Engage the gypsies who fight fiercely, raw energy, desperation.
The culmination of the entire novel's dread and determination.
And the climax itself. Jonathan with his kukri knife.
That heavy, curved blade shows his transformation.
And Quincy with his Bowie knife, symbol of that frontier spirit. They strike simultaneously. Jonathan at the throat, Quincy at the heart.
Hitting the core of his unholy existence and Dracula's destruction.
Instantaneous. A final dissolution. A whirl of dust, a red mist, leaving only clothes. Complete eradication. As if he was never truly solid.
But there's that detail Stoker adds, the look of peace on his face.
Suggesting maybe liberation from his own cursed existence. An end to his torment, too. It's nuanced.
But the victory comes at a cost.
The tragic, poignant cost. Quincy is fatally injured in the fight. His sacrifice underscores the immense danger, the high price of victory.
Makes the victory bittersweet, but earned. A reminder of the human cost.
And the profound bond forged in that shared peril.
So the aftermath. Dracula destroyed. And this immediate, profound sense of peace washes over them.
The nightmare's over. The shadow lifted.
The symbolism is so powerful. Dracula dies at sunset, his moment of vulnerability.
And instantly, the scar vanishes from Mina's forehead. Not just physical. Her soul is free from the curse. Human spirit triumphs.
But they mourn Quincy.
His heroic sacrifice ensures their victory. Underscores the gravity, the bond. The gypsies flee. The wolves disperse. The dark spell on the land is broken.
And the survivors, marked but hopeful.
Jonathan recovers, Mina remains the chronicler, ensuring the tale isn't forgotten. Bound by their shared ordeal, a testament to courage, faith, friendship.
A future free from that shadow, but with the memory of the horrors faced and overcome.
Leaves you wondering, doesn't it? What other ancient evils might still lurk, just beyond our understanding, waiting for their own moment?
And there you have it. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us in this story.
Yeah, it's been great diving back into this one.
If you enjoyed it, a simple like or subscribe helps the channel out more than you know. Be good and take care.